Okay, folks, we have a anti-bullying presentation today for you. We'll be together for about 30 minutes. We'll spend some time with some First Flight High School students, and they're going to tell you some stories about their past and times that they have been bullied. And I'm not going to go into what bullying is because Emmy Miles is here, and she works for Hotline of Dare County, and she's going to talk to you about what bullying is, some things that you can do to prevent it, and how to deal with it in our daily lives. But our school is, we live the KSCRP way, so we don't see a lot of it here. We're very lucky. But if and when you do, what is one of the first things you do? I know this group knows. Zach, tell an adult, yeah. So these are third through fifth. They probably know what to do. You guys got it. So you'll have some great answers for the questions that she poses for you. All right, I'll let Miss Emmy take it away. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Okay, much better, much better. Thank you for that. Okay, well, like Miss James said, my name is Emmy Miles, and I work for the Outer Banks Hotline, and I brought my friends with me today who go to First Flight High School. And you guys know what we're here to talk about? Bullying. And bullying is just terrible. It's like one of the worst things that happen in school. And I went through it, and they all went through it. And so we were like, you know what would be cool is if we went to the elementary school and told them about when we were bullied, so that we make sure it doesn't happen to any of you guys. So that's why we're here today. Can any of you tell me what a bully is?
Bully is somebody who is mean and he or she likes to hurt people.
Yeah, somebody who's mean or likes to hurt people. And that was really important what she said. She said he or she. So a lot of people think that only boys are bullies, but actually girls are the worst kind of bullies. Anybody else want to say something about what a bully is?
A bully is a person who is not unkind to you and says mean things to you and tries to hurt your feelings.
Yeah, somebody who tries to hurt your feelings. That's a really good one. That's what most bullies are all trying to do, hurt your feelings. Definitely. And also, if you notice how she didn't just say hits or pushes, she said somebody who says mean things. So bullying can be verbal too. It's not just, a lot of people think, well, bully's somebody who hits somebody or pushes them down the playground, but it can be somebody that talks about you or says something mean about you or starts a rumor about you. And do you guys know why people bully?
To make you feel bad and to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
Attention.
Yeah, that's really good. To make somebody else feel bad, to make themselves feel better, and to get attention. A lot of people who are bullies just want attention. Anything else? There's a couple other reasons why people bully. No? Anybody? All right. You forgot. Okay.
They just they'll feel bad, so they want to make other people feel bad.
That's exactly right. That was the answer I was looking for. A lot of times people feel bad about themselves. They might feel bad about the way they look or how tall they are, how short they are, and maybe people even bully them. Maybe they get bullied at home by their brother or their sister, and so what do to make themselves feel better? Yeah, they bully other people, exactly. So, have any of you ever been bullied before? Raise your hand if you've ever been bullied before. Yeah? It's a lot of people. Okay, hands down. All right, now this is a more tough question, but I want you guys to be honest. Who in here has ever been a bully to somebody else? If you've ever said something mean about somebody, even behind their back, raise your hand. If you talked about the clothes somebody was wearing or the shoes they were wearing, raise your hand. If you ever heard a rumor about somebody, even though you didn't start it, but you told somebody else, raise your hand. If you ever pushed or shoved or hit somebody or got into a physical fight, raise your hand. If you ever saw somebody sitting by themselves
on the playground or the lunchroom and you didn't invite them to come play or sit with you? Raise your hand. Yeah. So a lot of people think that they've never been a bully, but bullying isn't just getting into a fight, or it can be that, it can be physical, but a lot of times it just means excluding other people from a group or not inviting somebody over to a sleepover, things like that. That can be bullying. Do you want to say something?
3 people in this room bully me.
So a lot of us have been bullied, yeah. And how does it make you feel?
Sad.
Yeah, it makes you feel sad.
One time, they even said, put your hand in if you hate Olivia.
Yeah, that's not cool. And you know what? A lot of times we will be bullied by other people. And so if we're a bully, we are making somebody else feel the same way that we felt. So since you felt sad about that, would you ever want to make anybody else feel that way?
Me? No. Not
Should
really.
you make someone else feel that way?
No.
Yeah, no. So we'll talk about some things that we can do rather than bullying someone back. But I'm going to introduce my students here, and they're each going to share a story about a time when either maybe they've been bullied, or they were a bully, or they saw someone else being bullied and what they did, and whether if it was the right thing or the wrong thing to do. So I want you guys to listen up and give them your full attention, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Sarah is up first. Can you guys say, what's up, Sarah?
What's up, Sarah?
Hey, you guys. How many of you guys have a best friend? Awesome. How many of you guys love hanging out with your best friend? Me too. I'm going to tell you guys about a time when I was bullied by my best friend. Me and my best friend, her name was Sally, and we used to do everything together. We would always hang out. She would come to my house for sleepovers. I would go to her house. But one day, me and Sally got in a fight over something silly. I don't even remember what it was. And she had a sleepover with all her other friends and didn't invite me. And I was at home by myself, and the phone rings, and my mom said, Sarah, Sally's on the phone. So I went downstairs, and I got on the phone, and it was Sally and all of my other friends, and they started calling me names. And they told me that I was stupid, and that they didn't want to be my friend anymore. And that made me feel really sad because I'd never had anyone be that mean to me. And Sally and I aren't friends anymore, but I learned that if you are mean to someone like that, it really hurts them. And I learned that I would never be a bully to someone like that, ever.
Thank you, Sarah. Sometimes it's hard to talk about times when we've been bullied, and I appreciate you for sharing your story as well, and also Sarah, because a lot of times it's kind of embarrassing to talk about it, and I was bullied a lot in school, and even sometimes by my own friends. One friend would get mad, and the whole group, that's why I said girls bully too, especially, because girls, they don't really, a lot of times they don't get in physical fights, but they talk about each other, and they gang up in little groups, and they won't let one person hang out with them, and that's the worst kind of bullying, because that makes you feel really bad and really alone. So if you guys have been bullied, or if you're bullied in the future, what are some things that you have done or that you could do that might make things better?
Well, you could, if a boy comes up to you and says, I don't like you, and they say something mean, you say, okay, and just walk away from them so you don't get in an argument and get in trouble and then start a huge fight.
Yeah, that's really good. A lot of times the best thing to do is just say, what the thing that boys want, they want to get you all riled up. They want you to get all mad and start a fight, and then they watch you get in trouble and they think it's funny. So the best thing to do sometimes is just say, okay, that's fine if you don't like me, and walk away. So that's really good. Because a lot of times if you fight back, what's going to happen? Yeah, you're going to get in trouble. So if somebody, even if someone hits you or something, all you should do is run and find the nearest adult to get help. You never, ever want to fight back. Okay, let's get somebody from back here. What else could you do if you're being bullied?
I was watching a show one time and a commercial came on, and it was about, they did like a little play or a skit, and there was a new kid, and the boy came up and was starting to be mean to the new kid, and it said if you saw a bully be mean to a new kid, then you would run to another adult or an older person, and even if they didn't listen, just keep on asking, and then they came, and I've done that once.
Yeah, I've actually done that too, and it's really important what you just said is that to tell an adult, but sometimes you might tell an adult who may not do anything, and so like he said, just keep on telling. If you tell your mom and she doesn't do anything, or you tell, a teacher and she doesn't do anything, just keep telling somebody until someone helps you. So that's really good. That was a really good answer. You guys are super smart. I'm very impressed. Okay, let me see if can I scoot by you guys? Okay.
My parents always say if somebody ever bullies you, don't fight back because don't stoop to their level. And I always tell everybody, all my friends and all that if anybody bullies you, don't stoop to their level.
Yeah, that is so good. Wow, you guys are blowing my mind how smart you are. That is exactly right. Don't stoop to their level. It's just like I said, if somebody fights you, don't fight back, because then guess what? You're being a bully too. Someone calls you names and says, well, you're fat and you're ugly and you have dirty hair or something. Don't say, well, you're too skinny and your hair's too long and you smell bad too, because then you're being a bully too. And sometimes what I like to do, and you have to kind of feel out the situation to see if this is okay, but kind of just use humor sometimes. You don't want to make the bully mad and make it worse, but somebody says, I said to Jeremy, this is Jeremy over here with the video camera, he's taping you guys, and I said, what did I say? I said, Jeremy, I said, your hair looks dirty. And he said, short hair, don't care. He just made a joke about it, he didn't say, well, your hair looks bad too. So it's kind of funny sometimes just to say, if I say, well, your shoes are ugly, and you say, I know I couldn't find any other shoes to wear this morning, and just laugh about it, and they're like, oh, well, darn, what am I going to say now? Because they want to make you feel bad. You say, well, that shirt's ugly, and you say, I know my mom made me wear it, I hate it too. Just make a joke about it. So sometimes that's a fun thing to do. So if you're being bullied, what's the most important thing that you should do? Tell an adult. Yeah, definitely. And sometimes if they're just making little jabs at you and saying a few little mean things, sometimes you can try to make friends with the bully first. But what you don't want to do is become a bully yourself. So you don't want to join the bully and bullying other people. But sometimes the bully might just need a friend. So, do you want to say something?
Sometimes when they're at home, things are maybe going on at home and they let it out at school. You can ask them if they're okay or if they're jealous about somebody else.
That's so good. That's really true, because a lot of times people say, well, bullies are bad people. And they're not necessarily bad people. They might just have some things going on at home. And so that's very smart. You guys are so smart. Just to say, hey, is something going on at home? Do you want to talk about it? Make friends with someone. If you see someone else being bullied, make friends with them. Definitely. So you guys have some good ideas there. All right, now we're going to hear from Becky. Can you guys say what's up, Becky?
Hi guys, so I'm going to tell you about a time that I saw someone being bullied. Now this only happened a couple weeks ago at the high school. So this girl, she was walking down the hall and in the past she wore some unique clothing, which is okay just as long as it follows the school dress code. So these guys, they're yelling at her saying, ew, you wear ugly clothes, you're so ugly, why are you so weird? And I saw her go into the bathroom. So I went into the bathroom to check if she was okay, because there were some hurtful things that they were saying to her. And I went in there and she was crying. So I walked over to her and I said, don't worry about it, because that doesn't mean anything. And so now we're actually pretty good friends. And what the moral of the story is that, don't make fun of someone just because they wear different clothes than you, because everyone is different in their own way.
Can I say thank you to Becky? Thank you, Becky! And that's so true. I got made fun of sometimes. I'll tell you this story. It's a short story. When I was younger, my parents didn't have a whole lot of money. And my mom really liked to go shopping at the thrift stores. Hotline, I work for Hotline now. But anyway, so I would wear secondhand clothes sometimes, like clothes that had been worn by somebody else, and there was nothing wrong with them. They were fine, and people would say, your mom bought your clothes from Hotline. And I was like, all embarrassed about it and stuff. And now that I'm older, I buy my clothes from Hotline all the time, because now that I'm an adult, I see it's actually really cool, because you just get really nice clothes for really cheap. So, it makes you feel really bad. So somebody, they might, like you said, they might have things going on at home. They might not be wearing nice clothes because they might not have very much money. And I think, what did I say to somebody one time? It was the humor thing. Someone said, your mom bought your clothes from Hotline. And I said, well, I'm sorry, that's all she could afford. And they were like, oh, okay. And they just walked away. And so they just left me alone from then on. So If you guys see someone being bullied, what can you do? Yeah.
You can go tell the nearest adult, and sometimes you can help it if it's not very bad.
That's right, yeah. So sometimes if it's like a physical fight or something, you might not want to get involved, but it's not very bad. You could stick up for the person. You could say, hey, stop that, that's my friend. Even if it's not your friend. You could say, hey, that's not cool. Or if you don't feel safe doing that, you could go tell an adult. Anybody from the back or the middle over here want to say anything?
Once I was actually a bully because I was like right in the middle when my parents were being divorced, and it got me caught up, and then I was starting to be a bully, and then at one section I'm like, oh dang, I'm a bully.
Yeah, see there, and that's really cool that you can admit that you've been a bully. That is, and you can learn from it. Once you realize you're being a bully, you can stop and go, hey, this isn't going to make me feel any better, right? So that's good. High five. You're good. You're not a bully anymore, are you? Okay, didn't think so. All right. Any other ideas? If you see someone being bullied, what are you going to do?
Sometimes if someone's being bullied and then the bully just walks away, you can make them feel better by saying nice things about them and say the bully just is being mean to you because he just wants a friend.
Yeah, that's so right. So a lot of times, maybe the best thing might not always be to say something right when it's happening, like, hey, stop that. And if you feel safe doing that, then you definitely should, because a lot of times bullies pick on people who don't have a whole lot of friends. And so if someone else stands with them, then the bully might back off. But that's really good. After something has happened, you could go up to the person who's been bullied and say, hey, do you want to come talk to me? Don't worry about what they said. Let's, we can be friends. Let's go out and play on the playground or something. You can kind of make friends with the person who's being bullied. Okay, we're going to take one more. One more.
One of my friends down my street, he was at school, and this kid came up to him, and he was trying to hurt him, punch him, and he just said, please stop, I don't like it. But then he got all mad, and the bully went to go pretend that that my friend was saying that stuff, and he was doing the opposite thing and being a bad person.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying it's good to not fight back. You could just say, hey, I don't like that, please stop, and then walk immediately away and tell an adult so that you don't end up getting in trouble. So that's really good. All right. Now we're going to hear from Catherine. Can you guys say what's up, Catherine? What's up, Catherine?
Hey guys. So you've heard about times when we were bullied, but a lot of you raised your hands for times that you were bullied too. So I'm going to tell you about when I was your age and I was a bully. So when I was in 5th grade, there was a girl in my class and her name was Haley. And she was really nice, but she was just kind of quiet and shy. She ate lunch by herself and pretty much hung out by herself on the playground and stuff. And so she rode my bus, and there was a group of my friends in the back of the bus, and she would try to sit with us. And for some reason, we just were really mean to her. We would pick on her about what she was wearing or how she acted and her hair, stupid stuff. And then later, when I got to middle school, I felt really bad about that. I didn't really know why we did it in the first place. But before I got the chance to apologize, she had moved away. So even now that I'm in 11th grade, I still look back at the time that I was in 5th and feel bad about the fact that I was a bully to her. So I just want to tell you guys not to be bullies, because then you'll really regret it when you're older.
Thank you. And like I said, to you up there, sometimes it's hard to admit that you've been a bully, but a lot of us actually have. And unfortunately for her, she didn't get the chance to say I'm sorry because the girl moved away. So you don't want that to happen to you. And a lot of times people are just mean to others and they're bullies to others because they feel bad about themselves. And so what I do when I feel bad about myself or I'm feeling down, instead of putting other people down, I do things called random acts of kindness, which means I go around and do good things for other people because that makes me feel really good. So it's kind of like the opposite of bullying, because even if you bully somebody, it may make you feel good for a few minutes or for that day, but then when you look back on it like she did, it makes her feel really bad. And when you do nice things for other people, it can make you feel really good. Can you guys think of some ideas of nice things you could do for somebody?
my next door neighbor. He's about 86 years old, and I stayed up till like 9 o'clock cleaning up his yard for him.
That is so cool. That is really awesome. Let's give her a round of applause for that. That's really cool. That's cool. People who are cool do things like that. They don't hurt other people and make them feel bad. They do things like that. That's a really awesome example. Okay, what do you guys do?
Once was a turkey attacking someone in the back of his yard, so I went in there, wrangled it, and threw it in the wood.
That is awesome. That's very cool. That's a nice thing to do.
Sometimes when someone's upset and you don't know what to do, you can ask your parents and say, like, maybe can they come to your house and play or something?
Yeah, that's a great idea. You can invite them over for a sleepover, invite them over to your house. I was telling the last group that was in here, when it's people's birthdays at work or when I was in high school and college, I would write them birthday notes even if I wasn't friends with them, and I put them on their desk before they got there, and they get to their desk and see it, and I put a little flower in, and they'd be really happy, and that made me feel good. Way better than being mean to them.
One time at the grocery store, we were getting a movie from Redbox. Well, we were trying to get a video game from Redbox, and this lady came up, and she needed help to get something, and so I had to help her get some movies.
That's really cool, yeah, because older people don't know how to use technology as well, so that's a really good thing. You can help the older people with the technology.
At the store, there was this old lady on the scooter, and she needed help getting milk, so I went over and I said, "What do you need?" And she said, "I need that milk, can you please get it for me?" And I got it.
That's awesome. And you guys can do like little things too. You could like bring something, if you saw somebody being bullied or something, you could bring them, like sneak a flower on their desk, or you could bake cookies for your classroom or something.
I read an article about two girls in my grade, Lorna and I think Kyla, and after the hurricane, they went around, they made some like banana bread and passed it out to everybody.
That's really cool. Good job. Raise your hand. Who was that? Who did that? Good job. Awesome. Good job. That's really cool. So, yeah, round of applause. Come on. So maybe, we don't have time to hear from everybody, unfortunately, but maybe when you guys go back to your classrooms, you could all talk about nice things that you could do for other people, huh? Yeah? Can you do that? Yeah. Okay. Because I'm telling you, it really does make you feel good. It makes you feel way better than being mean to somebody. Okay, now we're going to hear from Anna. Can you guys say what's up, Anna? What's up, Anna?
Hey guys. All right, so I'm going to do a little activity with you guys. So if I can get 3 volunteers to raise their hand. Lots of volunteers. All right, well, they're going to pick 3 people. All right. Will you do me a favor and hold Sally? You, my friend, get the $1. You get to hold Tommy. All right. All right, now, I want you guys, how much is that worth in the middle? $1? That's right. All right. Now, pretend this is one of you guys' friends, or not necessarily a friend, classmate. And now I want you guys to say something mean to it, like it's a bully, and crumple it up and stomp on it, like you're a bully. Say what do you think a bully would do to somebody? But do it to the paper. Crumple it up.
Go for it. Crumple it up.
No, yours too. Yours too. Now pick up your people and your $1. Alright? Now try to smooth all guys. Alright, now try to smooth all those crinkles out that you just made. Alright, and apologize to the paper.
Sorry, Pete.
Alright, now try to make it brand new. I want it to look just like when I handed it to you. Now, do they look the same exactly? Do they look brand new? No. That's what happens when you bully. Even though you say sorry and you try to make things right, those wrinkles are always still there, just like those memories and those scars of when people hurt you. Like, as you heard today, us high school students, we still remember when we were bullied when we were your age. So you have to remember that this, when you bully somebody, it can really stick with them for a long time. You can't just say sorry and make it go away. Now, how much is that worth still? $1, that's right. And that means that even though you've been bullied, that still means you're worth something. You're not worth less because somebody bullied you or anything like that. Your scars and memories are still there, but you're definitely still worth something, and you can move on if you've been bullied.
All right, can you guys give them a round of applause, everybody that's here today? Did you guys learn something? What did you learn? Not to bully. What else? Stick up for others. That's right. Yeah. Dollars are people too, she said. But and the point of the activity, it wasn't about the paper. It was really showing that that's you guys. So you could say something to somebody because you were having a bad day, but whatever you said to them, that could stick with them for a long time. I mean, we all still remember times when we were bullied when we were in elementary school. It still makes us sad to this day, so you don't want to do that to anybody else. And so, saying that, we have come up with a little pledge, and we all did it together, and we thought that we should bring it to you guys too. So we're going to do something called a friend pledge today. And there's one condition with this pledge. I only want you to do it if you really mean it. If you really want to have a school with no bullies, where everyone's friends and everyone can get along, and you do really fun, nice things for each other, that's what we want you to do. If you feel that way, take the pledge. If you don't, you can not take it. Please take it. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to repeat after them, and just be respectful and quiet, and then when it's your turn to go ahead. I, First Flight Elementary School student, pledge to be a friend. I promise to treat others with respect.
And help create a school with no bullies.
Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause. Good job. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys really impressed me. Everyone that spoke really impressed me what you guys had to say. I think that you guys seem way older than you actually are. So keep going in that direction. We're going to be checking in with Miss James to see how it's going. So I hope that we don't hear about any bullying, because if so, we're going to be back. So we got our eyes on you. All right, thank you guys.
I want to introduce Corporal Essick. He is the resource school officer at First Flight High School, and he is the head of this SAD group here that he brought with us. These girls are all members of that, and I'll let him explain a little bit about what they do.
How many knows what the word SAD stands for? Not the SAD, but SADD. Yes, ma'am.
Students against destructive decisions.
That's it. Very good. It's students against destructive decisions. Destructive decisions is like bullying, right? Can't hear you. What? Yeah! Thank you. Now, these young ladies have been in the club over there for a couple years, and they enjoy going and doing things like this. We would like to see y'all as you get older in the middle school, join the SAD club there, and then join the SAD club when you get to the high school with us, okay? And if somebody's bullying you, or you see somebody bullying, who are you going to go tell? Can't hear you. An adult? An adult? Your older sister or brother? Your parents? Teachers? Right? And we really appreciate y'all's very great attendance and very quietness that y'all have shown us today. We really appreciate that. Y'all are a great group. Thank you.
One more round of applause. that your teachers dismiss you, so focus on your teachers. Do not stand up until you have been dismissed by your teacher. Third grade will go first.